Hello, welcome back to another video here at My Church is Your Church. For any of you that haven't been to this channel before, we'll go over that another time because this video might get a little longer. I'll do that on a shorter video. I should do another shorter video explaining the channel again for anybody new. If I do a short one, a lot of new people are more apt to look at it because everybody's in a hurry nowadays. And they tend to look, the more people tend to look at the short videos. I'll roll up this window. So here's another thing about just turning on the camera and recording without a script. I mispronounced window. I started as window or something like that, and then I repeated it. I hope that doesn't mean I got early onset of dementia or some stuff like that. That is one thing that I worry about, you know, I mean, I got a bucket list I'd like to see about knocking some stuff out, just in America alone, just in the United States. There's stuff I have not seen in the United States that I want to see, and I'm 57 right now. I want to see the Grand Canyon. You know, I want to see the Statue of Liberty. I want to see Yellowstone Park. I want to see the Golden Gate Bridge. I'd like to see Alcatraz, but I don't know if I'm able to do that one. See how everything costs nowadays. Some of that stuff, though, I could at least drive by it and look at it if I can afford the journey. If I could just afford the fuel and the food, I can budget tight. You know, we're just driving around looking at stuff. There's things I'd like to see, but it's unfortunate that they're charging for so much stuff nowadays. You know, it's a shame. When I was a kid growing up, as far as I can remember, national parks and everything were free. You could just go. They were there for the public. The taxes took care of it. You didn't have to pay, you know, $500 for a permit and stuff, you know, for the national parks and stuff. You know, the taxpayer dollars took care of it. Now everybody's got to be buying that. Somebody's pocketing some money somewhere. I should write a letter to the White House about it. I think I will. Hopefully, maybe if I write a letter to the White House, maybe they could get that kind of changed somehow or restructured, or at least create waivers. They should at least have waivers for people that don't have the income to, so they could at least ask for a waiver to sign because they're lower income or that, so they could still go in and see the national parks and stuff. You know, I hope there's something like that because I've seen some of the videos and some of the costs and stuff. It's like, dang, kind of discouraging a little bit when you're trying to figure out how the heck you can even come close to doing it. You know, and the price keeps getting bigger. But that's my bucket list stuff. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to see just in the United States alone. And I would like to get, you know, the best passport I can get, you know, just in case. I don't really plan on leaving the country a whole lot right at the moment anyway, but I'd like to have one ahead of time just in case something comes up, and that way I'm able to do it without having to wait on a passport. And I would like to be able to travel to Canada, because while I'm traveling around the United States, I'd like to see some stuff in Canada and stuff. I've been in Canada a little bit when I went to Niagara Falls years ago. That was very beautiful, and let me tell you something. I want to go back there again. I was much younger when I was there, but I was old enough to appreciate it. But didn't have enough time to soak it all in because my friends that I was with, God bless them, because I couldn't have went if they didn't take me. But, you know, everybody's got different ideas of what they want to do when you go on a trip together. So you're kind of limited time, you know, because you don't have time for everybody to do everything they want to do. You know, so we had to do a lot of running and gift shopping and stuff like that, whereas, like, at Niagara Falls, if we weren't on press time, I could have had a bag lunch, like living in this camper, I could have parked in a lot somewhere there, and I could have just packed up a picnic basket or something, and a blanket, and I could have just spread it out and just laid there all day, just soaking it in, just the sound, the atmosphere, just the whole experience, you know. And it wouldn't cost me but whatever I made for lunch, you know. And you know, because it was a whole to-do thing, you know, kind of a family gathering, getting to my godchildren, my buddy and his wife and their kids, which were my godchildren, and her stepmom and stuff, and we all kind of had to hustle, you know, go. Wait a minute, no, she didn't go with us on the night. Was she with us on the Niagara Falls one? I can't remember now if that was just. Maybe that one. No, I think that one might. Was that just me playing around? I can't remember now. Oh my goodness gracious. No, Niagara Falls. Yeah, Niagara Falls was with her stepmom. It was when we went to Florida that it was just us. Let me tell you, going to Florida, I could probably tell them about it now, but I couldn't tell them about it then. We working our way to Florida Disneyland. We did some touring along the way and went through the Smoky Mountains. I went to the highest point in the Smoky Mountains to this overlook, which is really pretty. You can see a lot from there. It was great. It was a fun experience. But we ended up camping in the Smoky Mountains in, I can't remember what state it was now. And when we camped in the Smoky Mountains, you know, the park rangers and stuff told us, because we were tenting it, you know. We didn't have a camper, we were pitching tents. And park rangers told us, you know, to keep our food and stuff in the car away from our tents and stuff, because there's bears in the woods and stuff. We got to see bears. And anyway, I have to go around this lot. I got to let people know I'm driving everywhere here. It's busy. I have to loop around. I'm a loop around guy. So I don't want to lose the story while I'm thinking about it, because I think it's kind of funny. But if they would have known then, that wouldn't have been funny.
You have arrived.
I have arrived. Zipping on you there, mister. Okay, I gotta back up here yet and watch for traffic. So I'm gonna focus on that there, so be patient with me. Okay, I'm good on that side. I'm good on this side. Okay, so now I can back up, and I hope I ain't got no little tree back there. I won't be damaging my camper at all. So, now that I'm getting back in here, I found the curb. So, we'll shut that off so we can save a little fuel, so I can finish telling you the story. So remember, I was saying the park rangers that said to keep your food and stuff in the car and stuff, not don't keep it in your tents because there's bears and stuff. Well, I'm a bigger guy. I've always been a bigger guy, and I got a bad habit of eating at night before I go to sleep. You know, if I got an empty stomach, I wouldn't. You know, at the time especially, I wouldn't sleep. I've gotten better at it now. Something I'm still working on, getting change and transition. You know, not easy. So comfort food kind of thing. So I had in my backpack, you know, packs of beef jerky and the jerky and cheese sticks and chips and whatever else I had. And I had a bunch of different stuff. Oh, not chips so much. Most of it was I did have some chips though, chip stuff, but most of it was semi-quiet packaging. If you're with me here, that's because like if you're opening up a bag of chips or Doritos, you hear that crinkling of that sucker. So we're supposed to keep our food in the car, which I know is the smart thing to do. I do know that, but I've been in martial arts a long time, and I'm quite the scrapper. And I don't have fear too much. Like earlier, I was talking about how I cried on camera, and I still do sometimes when I get talking about emotional subjects. That don't make me a wimp by no means. I'm a man's man, and man's man enough that I wanted that snack food with me in my backpack inside my tent, inside the tent, so much that I'm willing to fight a bear for it. Because I got to be able to sleep, And I'm thinking, even though the ranger said that, and of course, my friend Robin, my buddy's wife, she was pretty adamant about it. She was letting everybody know no food is coming in the tents or whatever, because she didn't want nothing to do with drawing no bears in, or whatever. And I just played along with it, I wasn't gonna announce it. I'm gonna have food, but I wasn't gonna fight against it either, So, but inside of me, the whole time, even right from the park ranger, right in the beginning, I already knew ahead of time, like, sorry, my snacks are coming with me, and I'd like to see a bear try to get them from me, because there's going to be one heck of a scrapping going on. And I know people might think I'm crazy, but I know I'm convinced myself I'd have done some scrapping, and I might get scunned up a little bit, but I'm gonna beat that bear. Guess I will never know because it didn't happen, but I got confidence, and part of that boils down to right to this channel and what it's about, and my faith in the Lord. That bear to me would just be a Goliath, and I'm David. I know my God. So it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have my snack in my tent, and I ain't gotta worry about it because I know God's gonna protect me. Even if that bear shows up, bear's gonna get to meet my God. And either that, or if it's time for the Lord to call me home, well then I guess that bear's gonna send me to the Lord. But I knew that wasn't gonna happen. Anyway, but just because I have that strong of faith doesn't mean that everybody else in the tent with me does. So I had to kind of keep it a secret. Now, at the time, it was a big to-do to have one, but they had a portable DVD player for playing movies. And it had enough juice to where when it was charged, you could watch a couple movies on it or something like that, And so it was my buddy Clay, his wife, and me in our adult tent. And then the kids were going to be in the tent next to us or that. Or no, wait, I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think who all we had with us. Or maybe the kids were just hung out in our tent for the movie or something like that. I can't remember. No, I think they stayed in their own tent. But, I don't know, I think they were listening to just their iPad or iPod things or whatever. Or dicking around with that kind of stuff. And I think that, like Christopher, I think he had a crap ton of Family Guy episodes, Simpsons and stuff all on his, so they had stuff to do to keep themselves entertained. Now we were gonna watch movies in there, and I was so growling hungry, snack food stuff and I couldn't eat it because everybody's awake, especially since I'm in the tent. And I'm like watching the movie with him, but my stomach was like really wishing everybody would fall asleep because I want a snack so I can get some sleep because my stomach was feeling it. And I knew I couldn't sleep till I ate some stuff. And apparently I must have been downwind from Robin or something if there was anything there, because she didn't smell my beef sticks, cheese, or chips or nothing. But man, did I have to be sneaky. And after we finished watching the movie and it was just dark and we were laying there, luckily I had the cicadas. I never heard cicadas so loud in my life. And that year they were so strong in the Smoky Mountains. It was just ear-piercing, non-stop buzzing of them cicadas. It almost felt like it's like something out of a horror movie. It almost felt like you're invaded. Like you were almost like you should worry about the cicadas more than the bears. It was so annoying. It was loud, and you could actually still hear the cicadas the next day, even when they weren't buzzing, because they buzzed all night. That it got put into your memory or something. But after finally talking to everybody until they were asleep, and I kept talking to Robin because I was pretty sure Clay had, if he busted me out having a meat stick or something, I'm pretty sure he'd keep his lip zipped. You know, he might even look at me like, it's gonna cost you. Give me a piece. Whereas Robin would have been like, blah, 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 that's gotta go out in the car, you know. So Clay, if anything, he probably would have blackmailed me out, you know. He would have been like, I see that. Come on. But so I waited for everybody to go to sleep, and then I was like, each time I try to open something, I was trying to do it so strategically, you know. Like I said, the meat stick stuff, that wasn't hard because that's pretty quiet, you know. Especially with the cicadas buzzing and stuff, you know, because the movie was off, so that wasn't going nowhere. And then, but the cicadas was a nice cover, you know, because they were loud as all get up. But even the chip bag, because it was next to me, even when I opened that up, the crinkling and stuff, I don't know if Robin could have heard it or not, because the cicadas were pretty loud, but I was trying to crinkle it as little as possible to get it open. And then I'd like try to get my hand in there enough without crinkling the bag and slide a Dorito out, you know. And then you know how when you have a Dorito, you can hear it crunch super loud in your head. It sounds way louder than people outside can hear. But I was so paranoid about her being upset about me having food in the tent that when I first crunched a Dorito with my mouth shut, I was like, oh, you know, my God, that's gonna wake up the whole campground. You know, but I know people ain't really hearing that, you know, because just you can really hear it in your head more. But so then I was like, it was almost like I was almost treating those Doritos like a hard candy, you know. I just put one in my mouth and absorb that cheesy Dorito flavor and just hang on to it for a while till the chip started softening up a little bit so it wasn't too crunchy loud. So that is my Smoky Mountain food in the tent, ready to fight the bear story. There's more to that trip I'll tell you about. We'll do that on another video. God bless you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.